Hey Warhawks, good morning. This is Colonel Wilson. Happy Friday. As you can see, I'm sitting here this week with Colonel Trey Irick.
Morning.
Our Vice Wing Commander, Chief Morgan, is on leave. We actually let him take a little time off, God forbid, but I'm happy to be here with Trey this morning and talk a little bit about what's going on in Warhawk Nation. So first, we can't really talk about what's happening around here in the 37 Training Wing without talking about yesterday's first in-person BMT graduation. It was a great event. We had the Air Education Training Command DCOM Deputy Commander General Spangenthal and Command Chief Thompson come over and be the reviewing officials for yesterday's event. Trey, any thoughts about how things went?
It was an amazing event. For the families to be able to come out for the first time in almost 16 months was amazing. And to see them come out the stands to greet their new airmen and guardians, it was truly a heartfelt moment. So
yeah, it was special, and so it's kind of cathartic for me because I have been here in the swing for over a year now, and I had never been a part of the in-person graduation. Yeah. And so I had people all over me that work, all over the place that worked with us, and man, I've been to 100 in-person graduations, and I was like, oh man, I would love to be a part of that. So yesterday, being able to do that, and I was very blessed to be able to administer the enlisted oath, which was really great. I appreciated the opportunity to do that. Just a great event, and we just so many people to thank for all the time and energy that went to it. First, of course, Air Force Basic Military Training, the 737 Training Group.
Definitely. We got the 502nd who made it possible for us to get traffic in and out of the base. That was a huge concern of everybody trying to get people in. If you were able to make your way in on the, off of Military Road, most traffic was moving pretty smooth. However, on the back end, everybody Valley High, there's some people talking, they're sitting like 30 minutes trying to get a mile and a half.
Yeah, and we knew, our partners, we led into this with an OPT, a team that came together between the three wings, the 502nd, the 59th, and the 37th. And we knew we'd have to do some trial and error a little bit, and so I've been blessed to be able to go back and forth with General Miller this morning, and she's already said, hey, we'll look at the traffic again, and I know they will. But the fact is, when you look at it, there might have been a few delays, but the reality is everybody got here. Yep. Everybody was safe. Everybody enjoyed the event, and so we continue to look at it. And the 502nd, by the way, has already accommodated increased traffic, increased opening times and traffic flow patterns at both the Luke West Gate and the Selfridge East Gate. So we'll continue to do it. But what I would ask is for those that were part of the event yesterday, those that were trying to make their way on base, that were just impacted by the event, use Warhawk Solutions. Let us know what you saw. We are definitely looking for feedback and information. You can always either do that or up-channel it through your chain of command. We're going to do everything we can to continue to make things better. There's a hot wash yesterday after the event between the three wings, I believe, and so they're always looking to improve things.
So things are in place. So if you got any questions or issues, feel free to channel them up.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for everybody's patience and all the hard work that went into it yesterday. So with that, we are also in the midst of our commander's calls. So we do that once a quarter, and we either break it out by demographic, and that we mean, our company grade officers, our field grade officers, our civilian supervisors, and so forth. There's 6 different breakouts. And then every other quarter we do it by organization. Each of the groups has their own time. So we are in the demographic breakout. We've got 2 left. This afternoon is probably our largest group here in the wing, and that is our civilian non-supervisors that we have coming in. That will be at the PRC, I want to say at 14:30. Check with your organization just in case I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got that.
14:30 time frame,
And that's our DLI instructors. Their training day lasts until about that time, and so we're trying to make sure we get that just right there. So we have that, and then on Monday we come back and we have the E6 and below, and so we'll talk to our enlisted airmen Monday, and that will conclude our round of commanders calls. But appreciate everybody coming out. This will be the first go round of doing all of these in person. This afternoon we're going to actually record it by popular.
Share it out there for those who had questions before about all the information. We're going to make sure you have an opportunity to be able to write down the details and be able to share that out.
We also were very blessed to have a visitor this week. Pretty big deal. Senior enlisted advisor to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
So Chief Master Sergeant Ray Colon Lopez, also known as SEAC, also known as CZ. He and I go way back in the combat rescue community. He is known for not only being a true warrior, but a great leader and a fantastic friend. If you have not had the opportunity to meet him, trust, when you do, you will be awed by him. I actually had one young lady who was telling me she kind of get geeked out when she got the opportunity to meet him. So it was truly a great time having him come out and talk to. He talked to our BMT, our DLI, IAFA, and he had an opportunity to speak not only with the enlisted Warhawks, but also talked about, hey, big picture, what's going to be impacting them. And he actually did some recognition of a couple of people that have been doing some phenomenal work for us.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and it tells you a lot about our wing.
Yeah.
When Chief CZ and SEAC wants to come and visit us, it tells you quite a bit. And actually, it's the second time he's been here in the matter of I think a month, because he came through with the USO tour. He just saw us. He knew he didn't have enough time to spend with us, and so he decided he wanted to come back, and it worked out well. And it was great to have him. And he left here and he says, you know what, next time I'll bring General Milley with me. And we're like, hey, bring it.
Bring him.
For sure, definitely. So great effort by the team to host Chief CZ. And glad. I was shocked because I didn't know that Colonel Irick and Chief ZZ were tight. I should have known because of his community. They're both from the same community. I saw them give each other a big hug. I'm like, nice. We got an in now. So we also, a big thing that's going on today, not just within our wing, but across our globe, across the world.
Got the Olympics.
The Olympics start. Summer Olympics. I don't know. I have some great memories of the Olympics growing up. 1984 Olympics for me, or the quintessential Olympics. Carl Lewis, Mary Lou Retton. I don't know. I'm going back maybe too far for some.
Some people don't remember that.
Yeah. And then going through the years, you got Michael Phelps and
winning everything,
and just tons of memories. And so it's great to see it.
Yeah.
So the really cool thing is we got a note out from our partners over in AFES.
Yep, 502nd has pushed out some information to let us know that they're going to be pushing it out through the AFES shop. What is it? Shop AFES?
ShopMyExchange.com.
MyExchange.com, excuse me. Where you can actually watch all things going on with the Olympics. No charge to you. It's just basically almost like free cable.
Free streaming service, really, right off the website, ShopMyExchange.com.
Yeah.
I know here in 37 Training Wing headquarters, we're going to have the Olympics going around the clock while we're here. The opening ceremonies are tonight, I believe. I think some of the events have already started. We saw the women's soccer didn't do so well, unfortunately, but there's still time. So that's exciting. We got that going on. And then we had the announcement come out on the Air Force Ball this week.
It's coming. It's coming out. It's going to be 18 September. And it's an opportunity for everybody. It's a notification now. If you haven't gotten your tickets or haven't had a chance, they're a limited number. So please go ahead and reach out to your squadron reps because it's going to go off on the 18th of September at the Hyde Hill Country Resort and Spa. So it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to seeing you all out there.
It's been in some pretty great Air Force balls over the course of our career. Highly encouraged. Don't miss out. Weren't able to do this last year. Chief Morgan, from the day he arrived, he's like, what about the Air Force ball? And I'm like, I hadn't thought about it. He's like, yeah, we got to check it out. So he went over to Chief Schneider, and they're like, hey, we already got it covered. And sure enough, they have, and here we are getting ready to do it. So that's exciting as well. There are 2 ticket POCs. You mentioned them, but if you don't have a specific ticket POC in your organization, Master Sergeant Sarah Windsor and Tech Sergeant Nidia Peralta are the 2 POCs that you can just look up in Global probably and get in contact with them to get your tickets, or just go to your group. I think the groups have already received.
Have a rep already.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So let's see. We got change of command ceremonies next. Yep. Sorry. We had 14 this iteration. Biggest, definitely. So the way it kind of works is most of your commanders are here for 2 years. You have a 2-year rotational cycle. Our big swap out cycle was this summer for sure. We had 14, I think, out of our 24 G Series order commanders swap out. Mercifully, that came to an end. That swap out came to an end last Friday. I felt bad for poor Colonel Jeff Pixley, who had 7 change of command ceremonies to officiate. But he loved it. He did a great job, and he finished it up last week with Colonel Fenster. Who came in and final BMT commander. So now everybody's swapped out. We have the whole team here. It's exciting now to be here, and we haven't even hit August. We got our new team in place.
All in place, ready to go.
Push forward. Things that are coming up next week, you mentioned that. So I will be headed TDY to Keesler Air Force Base with Chief Morgan. My boss swaps out. She is having her change of command, and my new boss swaps in, and Major General Andrea Tullis will be relinquishing a command to Major General Michelle Edmondson, who is coming in. She's the commandant, I believe, at the United States Air Force Academy, coming in to assume command of the 2nd Air Force. Yeah. And then General Tullis moves over to
right up the street.
Right up the street. So she's going to be close now. She's going to become the Deputy Commander of Air Education Training Command, replacing Major General Spangenthal, who was with us yesterday. So that's all pretty good stuff. We also have an opportunity to be able to interact with General Edmondson, hear what's important to her, and then talk to her about some things that are going on in each of our wings across 2nd Air Force.
Looking forward to having you join our team, ma'am. It's going to be great having you here.
Yeah, and we have our immersion. We won't say what the dates are, but we have our immersion coming up in the near future too. So that'll be exciting also. So, and then final note here, we have this week, or actually next week, the quarterly Air Education Training Command I-Summit is coming up, and the 37 Training Wing is marking that event by having a watch party. Yep. Our lead, Jennifer Baer, the head of our innovation and our Spark Cell over in our XP office, is holding that event. So we encourage all of the innovation experts and all the reps that are participating in that program to come out. It's on the 29th of July from 0900 to 10:30. They'll have that watch party. I've had the good fortune, Chief Morgan and I, to go to the last I-Summit, or to go to the last Innovation Summit. It wasn't an I-Summit, but we saw some of the great things that are going on. There's a ton of platforms and different technology that's out there. But what we're really most interested in is not necessarily the technology, but how you utilize that technology, how you actually innovate. Because we know, we've had that conversation, technology and innovation are two totally separate things. Just because you create some new fancy form of training doesn't mean it's effective training.
It's got to be efficient, effective, and actually makes improvements.
That's right. That's right. So we continue to look at that. Thanks to Jay Bear for heading that up, and we'll look at actually having her on maybe in the near future to host, to talk about all the different innovative things we're doing here in the 37 Training Wing. So, hey man, we got in and got out pretty good this week.
Get in, get out.
Yeah, appreciate your pinch hitting for Chief, and look forward to having you back on a regular basis. And
I'm Chief Stunt Double. Every once in a while I'll jump in.
Well, he's gonna be actually headed TDY himself next week. Yeah. You want to talk about that real quick?
So I'll get the opportunity to go out to Nellis to work on the Guardian Angel Human Performance Optimization Conference, where we're going to talk about how to improve not only how we're taking care of our airmen, but also how we're performing their human performance. Things we're going to look at are physical, the mental, and spiritual, and try to help make sure that we have a total airman that's able to do their job so that they optimize their capability, not only when they're doing their job, but also when they're home, so that they're actually having a better effect on their ability to be great humans, great airmen. Yeah,
we're really lucky. Colonel Irick here is a combat rescue officer, special warfare airman. And that is, we've got our wing has a history with special warfare and the battlefield airman concept. So some of the benefits that we get is we get some of you and your expertise, and what we think about our partners over in the Special Warfare Training Wing. Their purpose is to build those airmen into being some very special human beings. Yeah. I like to say, squeeze every ounce of potential out of them. And so we're saying, hey, if the Special Warfare airmen can use some of these lessons that they're learning, some of this data collection, some of this research that they're doing to make their airmen better, why can't we put a little bit across the entire force? And so we've got quite a few human performance and resilience.
And we're working a couple initiatives to try to bring to the 37 Training Wing to actually help not only our instructors, but also our trainees at some point.
Great. Right. Thanks for going on that trip.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We have had a couple of questions come in. Do you mind clarifying for people what happens for graduates the day after? So those who graduated yesterday, what would their families expect for today?
Yeah, so today's ship day. Friday is officially ship day, so we have transitioned back into primarily commercial form of transportation. And so today they are headed to their technical training school. Now, so while that is true, and most of them are either headed to Keesler, Goodfellow, or Shepherd Air Force Base at some time. Obviously we're not going to be able to talk to specifics, but sometime throughout the next couple days. Today is the day that process starts happening. There's a good portion of them that will actually stay here at Lackland. So about 48% of them will stay here at Lackland. They will go from basic military training. They will report into their technical training schoolhouse. Some of them reside here at Lackland, some of them at other installations, and they'll receive their information from there. If they happen to have the opportunity to get out and do some on-base liberty, they can do that. But they will not have the opportunity at this point in time to go off base. Yesterday was the only day that they have the opportunity to do that for those that were vaccinated. So I hope that answers it. Today's ship day. Today is the day that they transition from basic military training to technical training, and it looks a little bit different depending on which type of school that they're going to.
They're new airmen out there to learn their job.
That's right. All right, so that's the thanks for the questions. Appreciate that very much, and the opportunity to clarify that. So Trey, thanks for being my wingman this week. Thanks for just being my wingman in general.
Yeah.
And with that, we will close things out and say Warhawks trained to win.
Yep.